Microphone on? No. Microphone on. Okay, I think we're good. I can't remember the UI to this game, so... I'm going to play it safe and go down here in the corner. I don't know where they're going to put things like the ammo counter and the health indicator. Yeah, this is fine. And...
Resident Evil Revelations.
Yeah. So yes, welcome back to the complete Resident Evil playthrough. Today, if the voice didn't just give it away, we have moved beyond Resident Evil 4 and we're on to Resident Evil Revelations. And I had a bit of a doing this, which caught me off guard. When I first started doing the complete Resident Evil playthrough, I thought, one, I'll never make it, or B/2, depending on your counting system, it'll take me forever. Resident Evil Revelations, by my questionable maths, marks the midpoint of the complete Resident Evil playthrough. We've done 0, 1, 2, 3 remakes, Code Veronica and 4. That's 6. Yeah, Resident Evil 4 was the 6th game. Don't you just love this series? And we've got Revelations 5, Revelations 2, 6, 7, and 8 left to go. So yes, this is officially the hump of the series, which, given this game's graphical design, is oddly appropriate. Yeah, this game is... Should we just get started? I actually do need to focus on a lot of this, because a problem I have with replaying Resident Evil games is every time I end up replaying one, I seem to be on a different console. So, well, a hearty challenge tests the limits of your sanity. Well, I think none of my sanity is left over from our Code Veronica playthrough. A slight challenge, come on, we're manlier than that. We'll go normal, we'll go down the line. And yes, the thing I remember from this game is fish monsters and very unique character design and costume designs. It's also a 3DS game. Hey Tom, welcome. Once again, I think you're the first person here, so you're right at the top. You've literally missed nothing from me rambling, and we're in the Mediterranean Sea at some time after Resident Evil 4. Just in case you're really up to date on the story. Boobs, also good. You always have your phone next to you, that's a sign of the times.
Hey, Jill.
And we're back with Jill, and also we have subtitles again because we're playing a vaguely modern game, so somewhat smoother than we might have been used to for the last 2 streams or so. But yes, Jill Valentine, no longer with Julia Bott's face. I forget the name of the girl who's the face model for this Jill. She's got an unpronounceable Eastern European name. It was the only time she ever played the role. It's weird. She's close enough to Julia Bott, you might not notice that she's not Julia Bott. But yeah, no, it's an all-new face model for Jill, making her one and only appearance. What I also found out recently, as you know how when you talk about stuff, all the your Alexa on your phone are listening to everything you do, and they listen to the words you're saying, and subtly market things to you. Like if you find yourself talking about shovels a lot, suddenly you'll have a lot of ads for shovels, that kind of thing. And maybe it's doing this channel talking about the history of Resident Evil and Julia Voth. Suddenly my YouTube feed was full of Julia Voth videos from the Comic-Con circuit and all that. And you think, wow, Julia Voth's a really hot woman in a video from 3 years ago.
It's been 94 minutes since
the Resident Evil game she did is like 20 years old. How does that work? And she looks about 30. And in one of the interviews, she mentioned that when they scanned her face for Resident Evil 1, she was 15. Yeah, so that really hot girl's face from that first Resident Evil and several subsequent Resident Evils, that's a 15-year-old girl. Didn't know that. So, yeah, something to think about. Anyway, here we are, and it's a lot higher definition, 60 frames per second via, and smoother than we're used to. So actually really nice rain effects. This is a good game. And you may have noticed already, Jill is now going to be wearing a skin-tight, sexy catsuit with a skin-tight, sexy butt, which she will be in for the entirety of the game. Yeah, that's some bootay. That's some bootay right there. And this is another good point. When we're following that bootay, we can examine things again. Well, don't stick your head in a bell, Jill. It's not going to sound nice. Yeah, that's a booty shot. And it's a good time to mention this game was originally a 3DS game. So, stuff would be popping out the screen at you. And that, I think, yeah, the aiming controls are a little off, like a little bit weird, because again, they're adapted from... no, I'll learn it. They were adapted from the 3DS with this weird little, like, stick nubs. And they're not adapted too well, I think, to traditional controllers. But yeah, this game wasn't ready for the 3DS's launch, I remember that. But it was kind of the big showpiece of, no, it's a full-on Resident Evil game, this is what the 3DS can do. And the 3DS at launch had a very brief demo for this game, which was pretty much just Jill walking around in this catsuit. And I know at least 2 people that picked up the 3DS when it first came out, saw Jill's arse, moved the slider up to maximum and just went, yeah, I'll buy a 3DS. I'll buy that. So it just goes to show that it does work. The game came out sometime later, and as with all Capcom games, was later ported to everything. This is the PlayStation 4 version, which has obviously much higher res and frame rate, but a number of graphical resolutions. We're getting into things really quickly here. It's another no zombies modern Resident Evil, so we don't need to worry about these guys. And yeah, just enjoy the view. We're on a ship, and that's about all we know. Also, I think this is the first game in the RE playthrough, not counting the modernised remakes. Yeah. Oh, Julie, welcome! You just got a notification. Well, we know Twitch isn't the fastest of things. I also...
Hey.
That genuinely scared me. I also don't have to press a run button anymore. It's got analog control. So, thanks for that, Capcom. I'm just talking over what's some pretty good horror. This is Parker, a new character for the BSAA. Now, the BSAA is introduced in Resident Evil 5, and this actually came out after Resident Evil 5. I'm just playing in canonical order rather than release order, because I'm a Resident Evil story nerd, and I thought it'd mix things up and be fun. I have found a partner for my Resident Evil 5 playthrough, so that'll be fun. But we've got to get through this first. Yeah, I think it's got the over-the-shoulder, for the time, modern shooting mechanics of the modern Resident Evil games at the time, but at the same time it's really trying to kind of pivot back on... That's some very strange-looking blood. Sort of pivot back on the idea of it being all action. That's freaking creepy. I think the smaller arm's creepier than the bigger arm. A little shrunk arm. Julie Wave! I've just realised that Twitch is going to put this into games and demos, isn't it, rather than Resident Evil Revelations. Don't know why it would do that, but that sucks. And I didn't put Revelations in the title, so we may not attract as big